Okay, so today we're talking about comparing speeds and prices. You're on lesson 5 in your book. For the beginning of this, they talk about Diego, and he ran 3 kilometers in 20 minutes. Andre, he ran 2,550 meters in 17 minutes. Who ran faster? They want us to find out. So there's 2 different ways that you can solve these. You could find the time each person took to travel the same distance, or you can find the distance each person traveled to find their time. So it's helpful sometimes to compare distances traveled in 1 unit of time. So an important thing to know for what we're doing today is this little key right here. So 1 kilometer makes 1,000 meters. So Diego, he's in kilometers, but Andre, he's in meters. So to make Diego meters, all that you would do is you would do, it would be 3 times 1,000, right? So Diego is going 3,000 meters. And that's the same as 3 kilometers. Okay, so when we're filling in this chart right here, it says to compare both of them. So what I did is I made Diego's meters. And remember that 3 kilometers is 3,000 meters because of this scale that you see there, right? So 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So when I have meters and I have minutes, Diego went 3,000 meters in 20 minutes. So if I were to divide those 2 numbers, I would get 150 meters per 1 minute. So that's what Diego did. Now, Andre, he's easier because he already is in meters. So there's nothing to convert. So if you were to do the 2,550 divided by the 17, you would get 150 meters per minute. So they both ran 150 meters per minute. So you would say that they ran at the same speed. Now you've heard miles per hour or dollars per pound. It's kind of the same thing, but we're talking about speed. So lesson 5, page 27 is where you should be in your book. So on page 27, it says some students did treadmill workouts, each one running at a constant speed. Constant speed means they never stop. So answer the questions about their workouts, and then we're going to show what we're doing here. So what I automatically did is I figured out what each kid was doing, right? Before I even started with answering number 1. That way the math was done. So whenever you're doing these, you just need to make sure that if I'm dividing by meters and minutes, that they're in the same order. So notice how it's meters, then time, meters, and then time, right? So that's going to be important when you're dividing. So for Tyler, what you would do is you would do 4,200 divided by 30, and you would get 140. So please write that down next to Tyler in your book. And then Kieran, you would do 6,300, and I divided it by 30. Now I got that 30 because a half hour is 30 minutes. So that's where I got that 30. And if I divided 6,300 by 30, I got 210. So you should be writing what I haven't read, and you should basically be writing what's in these boxes. That's what I would write next to their names. And then May, she did 6.3, but remember that she did kilometers. So that's kind of what we just did above. So remember that 1 kilometer or kilometer is 1,000 meters. Okay, so what you would do is May has 2 steps because she is not in meters. So first what I did is I did 6.3 divided by 45, and I got 0.14. Now I times that by 1,000 because I need it to be in meters. So I times it by 1,000 and I got 140. So please make sure to write what each kid got. That way you can solve A, B, and C. So you're just comparing them. So what's the same about their workouts? Tyler and Kieran. So they ran at the same time. So let me change my color just real quick so it doesn't get confusing. But notice that Tyler and Kieran, they both ran 30 minutes. So you would put ran the same time, 30 minutes. And then now they want you to compare Kieran and May. Well, they ran the same distance. They ran 6,300. And remember that this technically with this is 6,300 meters as well. So they ran the same distance. And then when you're comparing May and Tyler, they both got the same answer, right? So they both went the same distance per minute. Okay, so now we're going to move on to section 3, and that is on page 28. Now, you have seen things like this when you have been at a store. You see 2 for this much or 4 for this much, different things like that. And sometimes what you're going to find when you become an adult is that you save money. Sometimes when you're doing deals like these pizzas or something like that, sometimes you save money when you buy multiple. So parents like to do that. So we're just kind of comparing beans. 4 different stores posted ads about a special on a 15-ounce can of beans. So I literally just divided every single option. So I did $6 divided by 8, and I got 75 cents. I did $10 for 10 of them, and I got $1. I did $3 divided by 2, and I got $1.50. And then this one requires no math. They told you that they're 80 cents per can or for 1 can. So now what I want you to do is I want you to write what I did here. See how I wrote the 75 cents, the dollar, the $1.50, and the 80. Okay, and then it says, well, which store is offering the best deal? Whenever you see the best deal, you need to think of the least amount of money. Okay, so out of the 4 options that you see, which one is the cheapest per can? That's what you need to ask yourself. And the answer is this right here. I'm only paying 75 cents a can. If I buy it by itself, I'm paying 80 cents. If I buy 2 of them, I'm paying $1.50 per can. If I'm buying 10 of them, I'm actually paying $1. So the 8 for $6 is going to be your best deal. That's what you'll write there. All right. And then now they have a new store, right? So now the original was a 15-ounce can, but this store is selling a 28-ounce can, and they're selling it for $1.40 each. How does the price compare? So remember, above, we have the 75 cents divided by the 15, and we get the 5 cents. And then if you do their new one, right, their new scenario, you would do $1.40 divided by the 28 ounce, and you would get 5 cents. So they're actually the same. So you would probably end up buying this one because you would get more beans. But either way, you just know that they are the same price is what they want you to know. So you're going to join the meet and we'll start the practice.